A pretty tough piece in the new issue of the New Yorker. Let me read a couple sentences. Thomas only reclines. His leather chair is pitched so that he can stare at the ceiling, which he does at length. He strokes his chin. His eyelids look heavy. Every school teacher knows this look. It's called not paying attention. Thomas is simply not doing his job. Why doesn't he participate in the Q&A sessions? All the other justices ask questions. He's the only one who remains silent.
Well, he gets asked that question a lot when he speaks at law schools and the like, and he says he gets all the information he needs from the briefs, and he thinks the other justices ask too many questions and don't let the lawyers finish their thoughts, all of which is perfectly reasonable for not asking a lot of questions. But 8 years of not asking questions just shows contempt for a significant part of the job. And, yes, he does write his opinions, but that's not the whole job. And I think he's still angry about the whole Anita Hill controversy. He's very angry at the news media, doesn't like the way he's treated. And I think this is a gesture of contempt and hostility that, frankly, at this point, only makes him look bad.
Yeah, because all the other justices, including Antonin Scalia, you'll always hear their sharp questioning of witnesses who come and lawyers who come before the Supreme Court to offer their analysis of what's going on. We only get to hear it on audio tape. We don't see it, and that's a serious problem. And there's a group now saying there should be TV cameras. The American public have a right to see these justices, the Q&A that's going on during these oral arguments. Listen to this ad.
Supreme Court's decisions impact the lives of Americans everywhere, but only a privileged few get to see justice in action. Republicans, Democrats, and a large majority of Americans support a simple fix: putting cameras in the Supreme Court.
Why don't they have cameras there so we can watch these justices go about their business?
Wolf, I can answer that question in 2 words. Jon Stewart. They don't want to be made fun of on The Daily Show. They don't want to have their behavior, their questions, their public performance open to public scrutiny. I think it's disgraceful. I think it's terrible. But, it's their candy store, and they get to decide who sees it. But it's just totally inappropriate that these sessions are not televised.
Well, is it across the board, all 9 justices don't want cameras inside, or is there a split as far as you know?
As far as I can tell, it's pretty unanimous. Stephen Breyer has said he'd like to see a study of how it's done. Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor, when they were in their confirmation hearings, they expressed openness. Since they've gotten on the court, they have gotten noticeably more quiet on that subject. I think there's just a tremendous institutional fear of the court looking bad. And I think it's appropriate that they care about the institution. But, when you think about the arguments against cameras in the courtroom, that witnesses will be intimidated, that jurors won't want to serve, none of those apply to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court only has experienced lawyers dealing with important legal issues. I just think it is completely outrageous, but there is no way that even Congress can force them to televise their hearings. It's up to them, and I wouldn't hold your breath.